There's a person I know. He's a very loving Christian, a very nice guy. He's a brother of mine, but his method of reaching the lost, like atheists, sinners, those who are not Christian, his way of trying to evangelize to them is to talk about the coming rapture. Now, I'm not going to get into the rapture discussion, regardless of when you believe it is. He will talk about the rapture or the end times as a way of trying to bring them to Christ. And the thing is, his heart is in the right place. But and I'm just using him as an example because many people do it, his problem, as well as many other people's problem, is that they are trying to talk about subjects, that honestly interest only them, to try to reach people who are lost. And people who are lost don't believe in God, let alone the rapture. So talking about a rapture or the end times or the mark of the beast or something is something that is a subject for Christians to study. Somebody who's lost, who's atheist, needs to be convinced, like an atheist, needs to realize that there's a God before they realize they need forgiveness. Or somebody who's agnostic would need to believe in other things. You need to try to find out where somebody is. Somebody who believes in God and Jesus, for example, that isn't really saved, well, they need to be convinced that they're a sinner and they need to commit themselves to Christ. Somebody who is agnostic needs to be convinced that the God of the Bible is the most likely God that exists. And somebody who's an atheist needs to be convinced that there's a creation, and so on and so forth. So when you're talking to somebody who's lost, you need to try to find out where they are and then try to reach them based upon what they need to hear.